Hello everyone, welcome to a Porsche video today. So we have things in here that a lot of Porsche people are going to be familiar with: plenums, throttle body, which is a common upgrade people like to do. And if you go and read online, you get even more confused what it does than actually clarifying your idea if you're trying to understand what actually happens. So as most are aware, we have spent quite a lot of time on the Porsche M96 and M97 engine for the past 2 years. We've done extended level of testing and development. We work with other people as well on developing. There was still a lot of doubts in regards to, oh, does a bigger throttle body actually is worth it? I put it on the dyno, the difference wasn't there, this, that, yada, 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 yeah. Okay, we get it, we understand. So we decided to make a video on explaining a few things that people are dismissing. So when you just put the car on the dyno, remember it's a static test, the car is sitting there, it does what it has to do, and the engine will only do what ECU allows it to do. So with our plenum, I'm not saying this is just our plenum is the best solution, by no means. Like, it's just a solution, a different one to fit the bigger 83mm throttle body. So we found quite a lot of interesting stuff over the time we've been tuning them. There's one thing we always do. We always look at the amount of air the engine is taking in and out, the ignition it's running, all of the important bits to understand exactly what's happening on the engine. So if you go and just bolt this on and then expect it to work, I'll tell you now, it will not make a difference. And this is something we were testing. Why? What's the difference? Because like the main reason why we found this is necessary is when we were measuring the pressure test, so measuring the actual pressure differential between the atmosphere and inside the plenum with a wide open throttle, we found there was a big amount of pressure drop. We're talking 5 kilopascals, and for someone that understands what it is like you still have a lot of vacuum inside the plenum, which means it's not getting in as much air as it actually requires. So the engine is demanding more air than what this can fit. So what we decided to do, we put the bigger throttle body on and we go and do the testing, see all the data, see the ignition, the values of air that is going through the engine. And then we found on the stock airbox, if you keep in the stock airbox, it's completely pointless to do this. So we found the gain was really, really, really neglectable. Now, is it like because the airbox is restrictive? It is restrictive when you have the bigger setup, this. On the stock setup, we have found there was no real big difference by reducing the restrictions. So let's say by putting a different air filtration system, like there is a small difference, but it's not as big as it is when you put this on. So the other thing is, okay, so I'll do all of it, and then will I see differences on the dyno? Potentially. Now, what I mean by potentially, again, with the data we gathered from testing on the dyno and testing on the road, we also noticed one thing. So when you put a bigger throttle body with the bigger plenum, the math senses reading a different amount of load. So there's more air means there's more load. And now the ignition table goes according to load, not just like load on the throttle, but air load the engine will have. So what it will happen, if the ECU is not mapped for the changes, you will have an increase in load, but that will make the ignition go back. So we found on these, they don't make more power because they dial the ignition down, and they can go as low as like 19 degrees, where on a normal circumstance, they would be running around 23 to 24 degrees. So you're seeing 4 degrees of ignition is quite a big difference. And that can cost around, I would say, 10 bhp on this engine. So there is the thing, is like, it's not just a plug and play. You can call it a plug and play, but don't expect things to change. if you don't change what's before it. So if you don't change the full breathing system, you will not see a benefit just by bolting this on. It just won't happen. Again, from the data we gathered, on the stock airbox with the stock air filter, fitting this gave us no benefit at all. There was no difference on the amount of air the engine was consuming. Only after we changed the intake, the filtration itself, we started seeing gains. We were working on a solution, but due to the amount of time things are taking now, we really cannot tell a date when it's going to be out. We have developed it over a year ago now, but we have other developments on the going, and the company we trust to produce it are a bit short of stuff as well, so things are taking a lot longer. But yeah, so this is it. So the answer for the question, will the bigger throttle body and bigger plenum work? If you keep in the stock airbox, there's no gain. If you change in the full intake breathing system, there is definitely a benefit from it. And again, you will only see the benefit if this year gets calibrated to run these things. It's not just bolt on and then you see power. You might see a difference, but it's not going to correspond to what actually should deliver. Okay, I hope this video is informative. If you get any questions about it, just drop it in the comments below. Stay tuned. Thank you. Bye.